Joining me first is Marina Litvinenko, widow of former Russian spy Alexander Litvinenko, who was fatally poisoned. Marina, it's a privilege to have you on the programme. Your tragic and notorious assassination of your husband that the world remembers. Do you think that those were on the personal orders of Vladimir Putin?
I would say, first of all, good afternoon. I'm not only thinking, I have a very proof evidence. It was not only my emotional discussion. We have a proper police investigation. We have a public inquiry. And this was saying is that Vladimir Putin, as a president of Russia, could be behind of this state crime against of my husband.
I mean, your husband was also an officer in the FSB, previously known as the KGB. How brutal an organisation was it? And do you think that Putin has the full support of the SFB today?
I would like to say it's quite different because Vladimir Putin much older than my husband, and he was definitely officer of KGB, and he'd been educated during the Cold War. My husband, Sasha, joined KGB when it was completely destroyed after 1991. And he really believed he will build a new security service who would help people to go through all of this difficult time. And he fight against organized crime, against terrorism, before he realized this state became a very dangerous place for all people to live in.
I mean, having seen the lengths that the Kremlin goes to silence detractors and defectors, do you think there's anybody now who can stand up to him? And do you also fear for your own safety?
But, you know, if we will all fear how we can live, it's exactly we're now discussing how is it possible this monster grow up all these 20 years and nobody could see it? It was absolutely from very first year. All people asked, who is Mr. Putin? And of course, it was a quite serious concern. He is a former officer of KGB. But all leaders tried to be blind how you just made this sentence, because we all wanted to have a good relationship to Russia. We all have to have a business. And we really supported ordinary Russian. And we'd like to support business in Russia. But Putin never changed. Putin, he is exactly who he was from very beginning. He represented these old style KGB officers. And now they just started to take revenge for what happened after 1991.
I would assume that, given that your husband knew Vladimir Putin so very well, you must have had access to the man yourself. Can you describe your interpretation of his character and his personality? Do you believe him to be a cold-blooded sociopath? I
can't say I know Putin very well, but now being close this last 16 years or even more, 20 years. Of course, I could say I know something about him. But when my husband, Sasha, met him during professional meeting to discuss about criminality and FSB, because Putin just became director of FSB in 1998. And my husband, Sasha, was really surprised because he met a person who even didn't pay attention to what Sasha tried to say about this criminality. And this has made him feel this guy absolutely not about changed. And he was a criminality himself.